been so long since I've done this with somebody, and I'm so glad I'm back doing it with you of
Yay,
all
me
people.
too.
But yeah, so hi and welcome to
Name.
the Moms Only podcast, everybody, and Grace.
I made it into the club.
Made it. Yes. No, so Grace and I go way back. We were first met in eighth grade, ninth grade.
Freshman year of high school.
That's right, ninth grade. So we have a long history, but I won't necessarily bore you guys with that unless you want it. But as far as credentials go, Grace, how old is Bo now? She's 12,
11. She
11?
turns 12. It was my daughter. She turns 12 in July.
Yeah, so I'd say that's quite a bit of credentials we've got here as being a mom.
Yeah, over a decade. That's so
Lots of
crazy to
years.
say.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe that. I mean, I will
I
just
know,
never forget it when you told me you were pregnant. I was turning 21.
man. Yeah. Yep. She was not planned. Just to give people a little bit of backstory.
Yeah, here, start sorry, we just, like, went all the way in. Tell us a little bit about yourself. You don't have to go we don't have to go totally, but just
Yeah.
yeah, so people know you.
Yeah, I know there's so much. So I'll try and stay on, short but sweet on topic. So my name's Grace. I grew up
Right.
in Kentucky with Kayla. We went to the same school and I got pregnant with my daughter unexpectedly. I was actually living in Hollywood and I was 20. And long story short, I was like, well, I'm not having a baby in Hollywood. And so
At 20.
yeah, yes, exactly. And I have mom friends in Hollywood now that are crushing it and they're amazing. But I was there alone with not really much support or help other than my, party friends and young actor friends. And so I was like, "Help, please." So my mom was like, "Come on home." And
Yeah.
and yeah, so her dad and I kind of tried to make it work for like a year or so and then, didn't we just weren't compatible. Let's say that. Not two people who were meant to make it work together. So now we have a fantastic co-parenting relationship after a long, long, long journey.
Yeah.
I love talking about that with people too because it
I
took
want
us, nearly
yeah,
10 years.
side note, I wanna do just a separate episode just on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's
Yeah, because
there's a lot to unpack there.
I love now where I'm at getting to talk to younger moms who are going through a really rough co-parenting time. Because as you know, I had a really, really, really rough co-parenting time there in the beginning. And just thank God we've made it through the other side. We've both grown and learned so much, and now we co-parent really well. But I've been single mom in it for over a decade. So
Yeah,
yeah.
killing it, crushing it.
Yeah, and my daughter's awesome. Again,
Yes.
thank God. She's an incredible kid. She is just the sweetest, kindest spirit. She came out that way. That's all I can tell people. I'm like, she literally is always she's been like this. She came out this way. She was the easiest, knock on wood. She's the easiest kid. She's a rule follower to a T. She gets upset at me if I don't know. If I'm like, that's
That's
okay. It's not a
so
big deal. She's like,
funny.
"Mm."
That's
Yeah.
so funny because
Yeah.
we know Grace isn't.
You know, I just like to look at the line and ask, well, what happens if I step on the line? As if I jump over. So
Like,
yeah,
we need
I'm
yeah.
a little bit of a rules or suggestions person. But anyway, so yeah, there's my spiel.
Yeah. Well, what we kind of jumped on here to discuss was I
Mhm.
was on FaceTime with my mom, as I always am, and she
Mhm.
was getting her hair done. And I was talking to who was coloring her hair, which is Carly. She's also a longtime friend. Actually, I've
Yeah.
probably known Carly longer than I've known Grace.
Yeah.
So, and she said, "Kayla, do you like to body double?" And I was like, I don't know what that means." And she was like, "Well, this is like kind of look it up because it feels like you're a body doubler or whatever." And I was like,
Mhm.
I looked it up and I was like, "Absolutely, this is me to 100% T." And
Mhm.
and when I looked it up, it also kind of talked about this is really good for people who have ADHD. And I said, "Oh, wow, that makes sense." Because I'm still coming to terms that, like, I have this, as
Mhm.
I didn't before I had kid. Before I became a mom, I had no problem with attention. I had no problem with anything like that.
Mm,
Like, I was very like, do it, get it done. Nothing stands in my way. Just
mm.
there it
Yeah.
is. And because and I think it like mentally, like I was able to I don't know if compartmentalize is the right word, but able
Mm,
to get do the task to completion without any problems.
yeah. Yeah.
But then when I became a mom, I started having all of these like little things that I was starting and not finishing and doing and blah blah blah. And I
Mm,
it rocked my world.
yeah.
And so for people who live like this, generally, bless your heart because whew. But so I posted up a story and I was talking about this and Grace was like, "Dude, I am this way too. Like I was diagnosed with ADHD after I became a mom." Like, I feel like there's such things to uncover here because I didn't know about this, so there's surely other people who aren't aware of what is happening to themselves after they become a mom.
Right.
And there's tools to help, of course, but just the sheer fact of coming to the realization and knowing
Mm,
like this is not I don't want to say problem, but like this is like what I'm going through and it's not just me going crazy was help
yeah. I'm
is
not
helpful.
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. So first before we get started, I'm usually a lot more researched. I have a lot more information going for me, but this was a quick one that came upon me, so I'm just using chat.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Chat's my best friend.
This is what chat is telling me about body doubling.
Mhm.
It's when you do a task while did you know what body doubling was before? Is this a
No,
term
I
you've known?
have not heard this term.
Okay, so here we go.
Mhm.
Body
Let's hear it.
doubling is when you do a task while another person is present physically or virtually, not to help you,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
just to be there. So it gives examples like folding laundry while your friend sits nearby or cleaning the kitchen while on FaceTime with someone. That is me, 100%. I'm always on FaceTime with someone. Working while someone else is also working quietly. That's also me. But I think I adapted that from years and years of being next to somebody in a work environment, but like not doing the same thing. Like we
Mhm.
always were, like, next to each other, so more on that
Oh,
later.
yeah.
So it says, "Why does this work?" So this is, like, the psychological reasons on why body doubling works.
Yeah, let's
So
hear
for
it.
one, accountability without pressure. You're more likely to stay on task when someone else is there.
Mhm.
I feel like that could go either way because ADHD people are, like, way off topic when they're talking to somebody, and it like,
Yeah.
you know, throws you for a loop. But anyway, so this says accountability, but maybe it's because you guys are doing different things, you're just next to each other.
Just like I have people in my life, my close circle who know how much I struggle with focus
Mhm.
that help encourage me stay on task.
Mm.
And like my boyfriend is an angel and is so good at helping me with stuff. And even just like being there with me.
And he
Like,
just, like, recognizes it so well
yeah.
with you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And my mom, I will say, because I live with my mom and my daughter.
Yeah.
I'm focused.
Focus,
So,
everybody.
yeah. Yeah, so
Now,
continue.
do any of them have ADHD, you think of?
No. Well, maybe my boyfriend, yeah. I don't know if we've really dove in. He's able to get tasks done though. Like
Yeah.
he's a very like motivated guy and he's able to get tasks done. Yeah, but he was in the military and I think he was in the military for 10 years and he took a lot of those tools that they instilled in him and those have really helped him
Yeah.
stay organized and stuff in
Mm.
his life.
So, tip 1, get military training.
Like, building the habits is so hard.
Yeah.
It's so hard.
I'm terrible.
I
That's,
think
like I
that's
think
what it
that's my greatest downfall in life is building habits. No joke.
Yeah, yeah, but body doubling, I didn't know that's what it was called, but it's something my therapist has talked to me about, so she probably used that term, but I don't know.
Mm. Mhm.
But I need to get the garage organized. I still have stuff in there from my move that I'm just, like, avoiding.
Yeah.
Like boxes and stuff that just need to either be given away or like put away somewhere. And I told my mom, I was like, all I want for Christmas is like somebody who's like good at like organizing. I want like to hire somebody to just help me. Like
Yeah.
that's it. Like that's all. Like I
they've
just
come.
wanna get my room and the garage and the bathroom, like, organized because it's like I physically can't do it.
Yeah, no, I've definitely heard, like, if your space is organized, your brain is organized, you know? Like,
I know, people say that, but it's
as
yeah,
I sit
yeah.
in a playroom, that is a disaster, but
Yeah, I think that you can take with a grain of salt
yeah,
because,
right.
you know, I've met some of the cleanliest people that are a wreck.
And vice versa, you know?
Yeah,
Some of the most
exactly.
organized people that are like that's like and then that kinda goes into type C mom, which we won't really talk about on this podcast, but they do I feel like
Mhm.
everything correlates. So anyway, accountability
Yeah.
to focus boost, it reduces distractions and help your brain settle. 3, it's
Mhm.
less overwhelmed. Tasks feel less lonely or daunting.
Yeah.
That was one thing I was like, I thought I was I posted that on the story and also my sister-in-law was like, "What is this?" And I told her, and, I said, "I thought I was just lonely, but I guess I just like to body."
You're like, "I want a buddy." You know what's
Yeah,
funny? Since we talked about doing this,
yeah,
the little things that I've been recognizing that I'm like, okay, like to talk about or whatever, showering.
huh?
I don't know if anybody can relate to this. This is one of my ADHD things. Doing tasks that are boring to me, I have to I shower, okay? I just showered before this.
So you're saying
It's like, "Oh, this is so boring. I'm
okay,
just, like, in
you're like,
here
you
and
feel
not
like
I'm bo"
showering is a task that is, like, not worthy of the time.
It's not it's, like, not entertaining. I've, like,
Yeah,
deep dove into ADHD and my brain and how it's truly affected my life. I go to therapy. It really is crazy, and I do wanna, like, preface all of this by saying, like, it's such a ADHD is such a layered, nuanced,
mm,
individual
yeah,
thing for every person that, some of what I struggle with is not going to be some of what,
mhm,
other people with ADHD struggle with, but I think a lot of there's patterns that kind of connect us all.
yeah,
And so, but even like the little simple things like that, like showering, it's like, like this is boring. I definitely struggle with the get bored very easily
okay. For me, I
aspect
feel
of
like
it.
it's the productivity of it all, like, I
Mhm.
obviously shower too, but I
People are gonna be like, "Grace doesn't shower."
well, Kayla and Grace don't
Whatever.
shower, don't listen to the podcast. No, I understand, like, I get it because it feels like I'm not being productive, trying to have productivity and all the things, and showering doesn't feel productive to me most days. So, I'm like, I could definitely use that 10, 20 minutes doing something more
Mhm.
productive.
That's funny.
But actually, it's more than that because we're women, and so we got to do, like, if it's like a everything shower, then and then,
Yeah.
like, your hair, and then you gotta dry your hair and, style it or whatever, but, and all of that also reminds me of, Enneagrams. So, like, being productive, I'm a type 3, and, like, I only wanna do things that's gonna allow me to be productive. So it very much feels it's funny that
Mm.
you said that, like, the layering of the ADHD because it does remind me of a little bit about and I know they say they're not related, autism and ADHD, but I feel like the spectrum aspect of it is very similar because there's a whole spectrum of autism, and I feel like there's also, like, a whole spectrum of ADHD.
Well, I mean, yes, absolutely. So many of these things go hand in hand, and I will say, with ADHD, triggers anxiety for me because I get I can't get things done, and then I'm frozen, and then it stresses me out, and
You have, like,
it's it's
paralysis, I do that.
yeah, it's frustrating, and then, like, the overstimulation part too, where it's like, I can't have the TV, the dishwasher, and the laundry going at the same time. I'll freak out, and
Mhm.
so, even those things, it's like, they all feed into each other, really.
Oh gosh, yeah, and I love when they're all going at the same time because that's productive.
I know, isn't that funny? And I'm like,
I'm like, too much." And I'm like, "Okay,
yeah,
everything's going on at the same time." But then everything stops at the same time too. So then what do you do? Do you do the laundry? Do the dishes? Do you do the whatever else?
I
Shower?
don't,
You're
yeah,
showering while the laundry and the dishwasher's going, and then you have no hot water left.
yeah. And then time it so that you get out of the shower as one
Yeah.
thing ends.
The
Yeah,
last
I would
thing
say, oh, go on, go on.
no, you can go.
I would just say I tried something a couple weeks ago that my therapist talked to me about where it was I can't remember what she called it, but I should be better at this. I want to help people and I don't know the terms to use.
If you know if you're a s if you're a therapist and you know this term, please tell us.
Somebody comment on what I'm trying to talk about. But it's like you spend 5 minutes in your room and then or like 10 minutes or whatever, and then you move to the living room and you spend 10 minutes in the living room, and then you move to the kitchen. You spend 10 minutes in the kitchen, move to the bathroom, spend 10 minutes cleaning the bathroom, just like a
Yeah.
lot of stuff obviously for me has to do with cleaning.
I feel like it's like a cycling thing, maybe like a time cycling or
Yeah.
something. It feels like that
Mhm.
would be the right word. I don't know, I made that up.
Yeah. Yes, just so that, like, instead of having to make a decision of what to do next, just do 10 minutes and then mhm. Yeah, because I struggle with that. I'm like, I don't know what to do next, and so I get,
Yeah.
like, frozen,
Yeah,
so
I realize in the morning that, like, I have X amount of hours I can do things. I have to write a list. I'm like, "Okay, this is it." But,
yeah,
sometimes it's helpful, sometimes it's not because things come up, but I totally get that. The last thing
yeah,
here is momentum. Getting started becomes easier, which is often the hardest part. That's what they say. Those are the 4 things about, like, why body doubling works, says Chatty Cathy. So, it says it's especially helpful for ADHD, anxiety or overwhelmed, postpartum or busy mom life, and tasks you keep avoiding.
yeah,
Here we are. So, I'll give you some scenarios, I guess, for you mothers out there that's like, "How does this relate to me?" I don't even like, I hear
mhm,
what you're saying, but I don't can't, like, apply it to my real life. Well, I'm gonna help you apply it. Putting toys away
yeah,
while your toddler helps nearby, calling a friend and both of you tackle your messy kitchens,
yeah, I like
sitting with
that
your
one.
husband while he works and you do a small task, playing a clean with me YouTube video in the background. Huh, I feel like I'd sit there and watch it.
I'm trying to get more cleaning stuff on my algorithm, actually,
Yeah. It's spring,
because that is
so
something, yeah.
we're all trying to throw everything away.
Mhm. Really,
I
though.
know I'm throwing shit away left and right. I don't know where this toy goes, boom, in the trash.
Same.
Haven't played
Haven't,
with this in
like
3 months, it's going in the trash.
well, you know what? Like, I can't even do the, like, "Does this bring me joy?" Because it's like, I'll love, like, a dress that I've worn before, but 3 years ago.
Yeah,
So
I
it's
know.
like, "Grace, let it go. Let it
It's just
go."
they hold memories, clothes hold memories, man. Like, and not only memories, but just, like, maybe it was like I wore this pre-mom and, like, maybe I'll fit back into it. I loved it back then. Maybe it didn't have a particular moment in time that I remember wearing this, but I remember who I was when I wore it.
Yeah.
And I've talked about this before, like, I'll never be that same person anymore. I'm just a different
Mhm.
version of her. So, it's a
Yeah.
identity thing for sure. I feel like I went through a huge identity crisis after becoming a mom, and I know you felt the same way, especially with being so young. So,
Yeah.
gosh.
W where do you feel like you struggle the most right now? Because obviously you're curious enough to kinda do some research and ask questions and talk to people about it. Where do you find, like, you've been struggling the most with, like, focus?
I feel like I struggle on focusing on, like, what like, goals, like, where am I going with this? Like, what is I'm doing the things, but, like, what is the outcome of it? I don't know if that makes
Mhm.
sense, but, like
Like,
and just
immediate or long term?
yeah, like, I don't know, I feel like I get very distraught and, like, talk down on myself, like, I'm not doing enough,
Mm,
so I don't know if that helps with body doubling, so, like, I don't know, I feel like at this season of life, I do whatever I do, it doesn't matter what I do because it's going to be undone in a matter of
yeah.
5 seconds. It's if we go with,
Yeah.
like, cleaning or something, but, I don't know, that's a hard one for me, I guess. Like, I
Dude,
wanna
oh
do
my
so many
gosh.
things, but I get bogged down thinking, like, "How do I get there?"
You have 2 tiny
I
children
know.
right now. I think you can give yourself some grace, for lack of a better word, in that aspect. You are in such a hard mom season right now that nobody else is expecting you to get all the things done. And it's just, I
Oh,
hope you know it's just you in your head. You're the only person putting these expectations on yourself. Anybody, myself, like from the outside looking in, is like, you're doing a great job. Like,
thanks.
who the fuck cares if the house is clean
Yeah.
right now? You're such a good mom to those
Oh,
your two little ones that like it's not going to be like this forever too.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's impossible to keep focus on things with
Well,
little tiny children.
I feel like I just never realized, like, being a mother to my children is not hard. Like, that's the easy part, like, for me. Like, the emotional side of things is difficult, the mental side of things is difficult, of course, but those are things that, like, I can absolutely work through without having a mental block on it. Like,
Yeah.
I do think the, like, noise from social media of, like, oh, like, passive parenting and, like, gentle parenting and whatever, aggressive authoritarian parent, and it's like, where do I
Mhm.
land in all of this? I just need to do me and know what feels right for me,
Yeah.
but it's also the other things I think it's all those other things in between. Like, I never realized how hard it would be to keep my house not updated, but keep my house, I don't wanna say
Pristine.
clean. I don't wanna even say clean, I just wanna say, like, in a comfortable position to where I feel like if somebody walked into my house, they wouldn't be like, "This is an absolute disaster." Like,
Right. Right, right, right.
because it is, and it is all the time, and even when I do feel like, "Oh my gosh, I feel so good, I just cleaned the house," like, it feels so nice. I'm exhausted. Like, I am so barred down.
Mhm.
Like, I just like, I also feel like when I do these things, all of that, I also revenge bedtime myself, and I don't go to bed till, like, 2 AM, so it's like I'm in, like, this vicious cycle.
Mhm.
Like, I think the past 2 nights,
Yeah.
I didn't go to bed till, like, 1 or 2 AM. Um,
What?
I know, and it's just like, why am I doing this to myself? Like, I really want to be the person that, like, wakes up at 5 and does the workout and, like, does the affirmations and, like, looks outside before her children wake up. But in
I
reality, my
know.
kids are waking me up, and I don't love that, but it's like I said, the habit building is so hard for me. That's why I think that's my biggest downfall, if I could just, like, make a habit work. But
Yeah,
but yeah, so those are just things that, like, are looming in the air right now with my 2 and my 3-year-old. I forget all the time that Addie is 2.
I
Like, she's
know.
literally 2.
She's just 2. Yeah,
I feel like she's so big,
I
bigger
know.
than, like, because, like, I feel like she acts like a big girl a lot of the times, and she, like,
She's
is,
got
like,
an older
talking, and
brother, she's already got
yeah,
it figured
she's
out.
like
Yeah.
she
Mature.
her mannerisms and, like, what she likes to do and, like, all these things, and, like, she wants to help and everything. I just feel like she's such a big girl, but then when she
Mhm.
has those, like, actual tantrum two-year-old moments, I'm like, "Oh, she's 2." Like,
Hard time remembering that with Bo too when she was younger, just because she was talking, like, full sentences, just, like, walking around, Little Miss Independent, I would forget that, like, okay, I still have, like, a
yeah.
toddler. Like, she
Yes.
is still so young,
So little,
like
and I feel
yeah.
like I'm always, like, kind of also telling that to my husband. I'm like, "I need to remember this too." Like, sometimes he'll get upset, frustrated at some of the things that, like, Cal's doing, mostly Cal, I think,
Mhm.
because he's so hard-headed, and I'm like, "Dude, he's 3. You're 34. Like, come on." He's like, "He should know better." I'm like, "He's
He's like,
only
"Don't
been here for
don't
3 years."
argue with the 3-year-old."
Yeah, I'm like, "He's only been here for 3 years, almost 4, but, like,
So
still." And I'm like,
funny.
I need to eat my own words and, like, remember that too, like, when I'm having hard moments with them, like, some here recently because 'cause they've both been sick, and there's that.
Ugh, yeah.
I just, like, when they are being super fussy, and I'm just like, "Okay, we all just need to sit down and reconnect right now, I guess. I can't
Mhm.
worry about what's going on over here or over there."
Let's
I so I'll
regroup.
Yeah, I'll just sit and be like,
Yeah.
"Okay, guys, mommy is gonna sit here and hold you all for 10 minutes, and then when the timer
Just
goes
yeah.
off, we're all gonna be okay, and mommy's gonna get up." I think that's the hardest part right now is, like, mommy's gonna get up.
Yeah.
and they're just bawling and crying when mommy moves. So,
I know.
but
Yeah. Man, it is.
it's
It's so
hard.
tough. Do you give yourself a day, like a relaxed day
No, because
ever?
I feel like I can't, like, not that I can't, but, like, I feel like I don't have it. You know what I mean? I don't, like sometimes I will in the weeks if I'm, like, I feel like I can do it, but, I mean, I do have so the kids are in school every day.
Yeah.
They're in school Monday through Friday, and so I do have 2 days off from work where I have about 4 hours each day, but,
Mhm.
I mean, those 4 hours go by so quick, and I
Yeah.
can
And then you're
fill
trying to
'em.
like fit stuff in.
Yeah, I'm trying to fit, like, any errands that I need to run, anything I need to get, anything that's, like, easier to do without toddlers, like, I'm trying to do it
Yeah.
in those couple of hours, so a lot of things fall by the wayside because of that, or
Yeah.
but Devin, picked up a shift at work yesterday, and on his way
Mhm.
out, he was like, "When I get home, mommy's gonna go do something."
Yes, mommy is.
Not she's gonna go away and do something for a little bit, and I literally just, like
Uh-huh.
I made a Target order for pickup, and when he got home, I was like, "I'm gonna go pick this up at Target," and I just went in there and walked around for no shit 2 hours.
Good for you.
I spent $50.
Yeah. You're just walking around looking, enjoying your alone time.
I was just like I looked down at the clock and I texted Devin, I was like, "Oh my god, I didn't realize what time it was." It was 8:30, 9 o'clock almost, yeah. So he was on bed duty for both of them, but yeah, no. So, wow, I don't know where we are in this, but real life looks like what it
I
looks like
know.
in real life. But so the easy ways to try it, which I there's only one of these that I'm like actually think that works in my opinion. So they
Mhm.
say like in person you can invite a friend over even casually, but I'm like, if I invite a friend over, I'm not going to be I don't know. For me, I'm like, I'm gonna visit with that friend because the time is more
I
important visiting with
know.
them. So my love language is quality time. So
Yeah.
I don't really want to be doing tasks while I have somebody over necessarily,
Yeah.
unless it's like a particular thing where it's like I was already planning on doing this and they stop over, like that's fine. Not
Right.
everybody does that, but anyway, virtually, this is the one that I do 100% of the time when I do it is
Mhm.
FaceTime, phone call, or voice notes.
Yeah.
With kids, narrate what you're doing. It really keeps you focused. I do this sometimes. I don't know. Online groups. Some people join virtual co-working rooms. I don't know
I've
about
never
that
even
one.
heard of that.
I feel like there's a safety risk with that. I don't know.
Yeah, that sounds interesting. I've never even heard of that. Like, where you just basically join, like,
Yeah,
a random Zoom of other people working
like doing
at
stuff.
home, and you're just on camera,
I feel like I just sit there and watch, right?
or be like, "I hope I'm not doing anything embarrassing, like
Like
picking
sticking
my
my butt
nose."
or like nose or something. Yeah. Right. Oh, I don't know. I feel like this is not that's not it. But that does take me to, like I was talking to my boss and I was, like, telling her about this body doubling thing, and it got me thinking. She was like, "It was probably because me and her, we were stuck in a room when we worked together initially first. Like, we were this close to each other, working basically in a
Yeah,
small ass room, and we were just, like, co-working with each other on our separate tasks, but that's what we were doing, and then when I started working at the events agency, it was, like, post-COVID, it was 2021, but it was still, like, pretty fresh, and so all of us were basically working from home unless we had events, so which sounds interesting, but, we would all just, like whoever wanted to had this, like, open Zoom call, it's kinda like that, but we all knew each other, like, we were all worked together.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
We're all coworkers, but we all got on the Zoom call if you wanted to, if you didn't have to, but we just kept all of us on mute and then just, like, unmuted if we wanted to say something or had a question or whatever. So,
yeah,
that's also a form of body doubling, I guess,
yeah,
and now, like, since I had my kids, I did feel lonely initially of, like, I
yeah,
was at home by myself with this baby and who,
yeah,
like, talking to all the time, so yeah. I don't know. I don't feel like I knew really because you were when you had Bo, I mean, you lived at home with your
mhm,
parents. Were they
mhm.
there a lot? Like, were people around you day in, day out? And you also were working a bit.
Yeah, my mom but both my parents were working as well.
Yeah.
So, oh my gosh, I'll never forget the night that I brought her home from the hospital. Um, her dad was deployed. He was in Afghanistan. And so I had a bedroom that I was the nursery and my room. And both of my parents are like, okay, well, wake us up if you need anything. Good night. And I'm like,
I'm the yeah.
what do I
What do
do?
I
You
do?
know? So
Yeah.
I feel like even from the very beginning, I was just figuring stuff out, you know?
Yeah.
And not to say that my parents didn't help me, like, so much after that, but yeah, it's like they both had their own lives. My dad had the Senate thing that he's still doing. My dad works full-time as a business consultant and a state senator. My mom I'm trying to think of where she was working full-time at that time, but, she's
Mhm.
always doing stuff. She's probably working at the gym. They both were working. They both had their own lives going on. And I guess I just really, my symptoms, I don't know if you want to call them symptoms, but like of ADHD were just heightened after I had Bo. And, now that like going through therapy, talking to people and stuff and realizing like it was always there, like I'm talking to my mom about, how I couldn't sit and fill out college applications. It's like I couldn't do it. I just couldn't sit there and do it. And she's like, "What is wrong with you?" And I'm like, "I don't know." And then, of course, like the keeping my room clean. And, I remember I I grew such a great, not like a photographic memory, but like a short-term memory with memorizing lines
Yeah.
for plays and auditions and things because I had the hardest time just like sitting down and like focusing on like learning them. So I got really good at just like looking at them and then being able to learn them in rehearsal. So those things were always there. And then after I had Bo, it's like you don't change. I mean, you do a little bit. Like there's that innate part of your DNA that feels like it reforms, to be like just like suction to this human. But other than that, you're still the same person, that you were before. And so
Still
I
getting
was already
like
just,
the old me every now and then.
yeah, like, and like, I'm still 16. There's no way I could get pregnant right now, be a teen mom.
I feel like legitimately I was hanging out, oh my gosh. I was with Addie this morning and she wanted to do the cut out little shapes on her PB&J,
Mm-hmm.
but she couldn't push
Mm-hmm.
it down. She just doesn't have the strength to push it down.
Yeah. Yeah. Little baby.
Yeah, she was getting upset. And I was like, "Addie, you're 2. I'm 33. Let me help you."
Hmm.
I was like, "Oh my god, I'm 33. I feel like I'm 25. I'm s
I said something
What do you mean I'm 33? I'm 25."
the other day. I was talking about this girl and I was like, yeah, man, she's got like 4 kids and she's my age. And my mom looks at me and she's like, yeah.
That's normal. Not normal. It's not normal to have 4 kids.
But it's like to be 33 and have 4 kids is
It's
not weird.
not like a big yeah, like that.
I was like, no, I can't. I'd be a teen mother.
It's like, oh, like, I just turned 33. Gonna yeah.
I know. Well, I'm about to. Okay. So anyway, that's when I really, after I had Bo, I started going to therapy because I was also dealing with like depression and anxiety and all of that. And really, that's what I was dealing with. And then just in this last year, I've been deep diving more into ADHD, coping mechanisms, like skills and tools, because I'm tired of being a mess, like it has affected my life in, all the basic ADHD tropes, like keeping a job. Like I have had so many different jobs and I've gotten to the point where I'm like, I'm not willing to let this
Yeah.
ruin this for me anymore, like being on time, completing tasks, staying on task, like just being efficient, being organized, things like I set a million alarms now for things. If I've got to, clock in for work, clock out for work, I have an alarm set for those things. Meeting then, be done with this at this time. Bo has a half day at school. I'll set an alarm for myself at 11:30 to make sure. It's like those things that, again, talked about in therapy. She's like, what do your alarms look like? Making lists, in my notes app. My notes app is lists on lists on lists on lists.
Wild.
And
I don't want to live in my notes app.
it's a scary place.
See my
And
brain?
she's like, how many?
Go
Yeah.
to my notes app.
That's like, I would rather somebody look through my camera roll than look through my notes app. The things that are written down.
I think I quickly have a note that says like the number 4 or something.
And you're like,
It's like, those was like, what's in my purse? No, we're gonna do a video. What's in my notes?
that's in my no, I'll go to the grave. I don't care. Y'all can look through my texts. You can look through my camera roll. When I die, I want somebody to go in my notes, delete, so that nobody can see anything. It is unhinged in there. But I have built the habit, and I was always so terrible at keeping a calendar. I actually have a shared calendar with my boss, and I put everything in there now. Everything immediately when somebody's like, I think we're going to have an event on this day. And I'm like, hold on.
Let me check.
When?
When?
Immediately.
Yeah.
I'm super obnoxious about my calendar now, which has taken me
this long.
my whole life.
32.
This long. 32. And then I do my little green check mark emoji next to my lists.
Yeah.
And that's like helps like condition my brain to be like,
are you like
satisfied?
I don't like to remove things from my list. I want to cross it out.
I like my little green check mark. Like I'll even put like I don't know, like file nails.
Yeah.
Like something that I've been thinking about, like, oh my God, like I really need to file my nails. Put it on my list.
Yeah.
So I can check it off.
It's so funny you say that because I have never in the last 30 years that I've not had when I didn't have children thought about writing the mundane task things down. But now I'm like, I freaking have to. Or I don't remember.
Yeah. But if you struggle with feeling like you want to feel productive, write it down. I'll write down like something that I've done already and then cross it off.
Yeah. But also, like I said, I mentioned, I don't want to take it off. Somebody was like, oh, then I'll just take it off. I'm like, I can't take it off because then I won't remember
if I did it or not.
I got to cross. It's got to be crossed out.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Like email this person.
Yeah.
And then I have to check mark next to it so I know that I did it. Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. I love my notes app. Yes. I do also have a notebook that I like. And I like to write it down as well. I guess it depends on what it is. But that is something that I've struggled with in the past is like writing down lists, to-do lists, and like different lists. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I've struggled with that.
Starting a new one.
And then I write a list down in the kitchen, and then I go to the bathroom and I write another list down in the bathroom. I'm like, what? I just need like a like or something on me. Like I'm gonna
right here.
Wearing those Levi jeans and just like keep a steno pad in my back pocket with pretty
right
pencil.
That's so funny. Do you look at your notes app every day? Or no? Like, would writing it down help you better?
Maybe not every day. I feel like when I put things in my notes app, it's because I don't have accessibility to, or it's like just a quick thought or something. I don't know. I probably should be more cautious what I'm doing and why I'm doing it and where and why.
Yeah, because I'm a visual learner. So like if I write stuff down, I'm more likely to remember it as well.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's true. So going into that, let's see, go back to Chatty Cathy here and what she says about body doubling and ADHD. So how does it? Okay. Number 1, how does body doubling help ADHD? What's actually happening? ADHD isn't about laziness. It's about challenges with executive function, starting tasks, staying focused, finishing things. Body doubling sort of fills in the gaps. Number 1, it helps you start. The biggest hurdle. People with ADHD often feel stuck before starting, even on simple things. Having someone there creates a sense of urgency, reduces that I'll do it later loop, makes starting
feel less overwhelming. It lowers the mental
Yeah.
barrier to just begin. There's 5 of these, and chime in whenever you feel like you've experienced this or like you and your therapist have talked through it. We've kind of mentioned it boosts focus. ADHD brains are easily pulled toward distractions. A second
Mhm.
person acts like an anchor, keeps your brain from wandering as much, adds just enough external structure, and makes it easier to stay in task mode.
Yeah. And I would also, it's hard to like always like schedule somebody else like, "Hey, sit here with me so that I can do this." I think just a general thing that has helped me so much is just be so open and like communicative to all the people in my life about how much I struggle. That's not always easy.
Yeah.
Like everybody in my life, my close circle knows that I struggle with focus and, I think even just like having people that are in my life that love me so much that want me to succeed, and so that they're like, "Hey,
This is happening.
right, yeah, like, and it's like, "Oh, okay, thank you, thank you, thank you."
In the nice
Yeah,
way.
you're right, you're right, you're right.
In the
No, genuine. Because it's like, yeah, you can't, sometimes like there's certain people in your life who are your biggest enemy who like want to use shit against you. I don't have anybody in my life like that anymore. Like all the people that I hold very close to me just want me to succeed and want to see me do well. And I have communicated to them and they know me well enough to know how much I struggle. And so I would say even just having a conversation with all the people in your life that like, "Hey, I'm really struggling with this lately." Having them be aware of it is also just really like really helpful and a huge relief.
Yeah.
So yeah, like if my relationship, my mom and my close friends, even my boss the other day, we're having a conversation. He's like, "And this lady, do you know this lady that does this?" And I was like, "Oh no, what's her name?" Okay. And I'm get out my phone. Hold on, I'm gonna look her up. He go, "Hey, Grace, 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 Grace. I just need you right here with me for a
Oh,
second.
man.
Put the phone down." And I'm like, "Okay, yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
you're right." People who are in, and it's funny. He's laughing. He's like, Just put the phone down. I just need you right here. You can look at. Let's finish the conversation." And I'm like, You're right. You're right." So just yeah, people who give me grace in my life and understand. But again, that just takes time.
I really wonder what the statistic is of how much ADHD diagnosis has increased since, like, this social media era too.
Yeah, some awareness.
I don't know, like, is it developed? Is it innate? Is it learned? Is it what it like, I mean, I'm sure it's different I'm sure all of those are true
Yeah.
for different people. Like, for some people, it could be genetic. For some people, it's learned. Some people,
I'll say before I ended up going to a doctor about it, I had conversations with people and I actually called my godfather, who is a doctor, works in a hospital in Tennessee, but he went to the Mayo Clinic. He's the smartest man I've ever met in my life. And we've stayed close with them. They were like family, growing up, and they were just super close. And so I was like, I really want an opinion from a doctor. So I started asking him, I was like, can I call you and have a conversation about this? Cause, I'm really thinking like, and this was when Bo was a baby. And he's like, all the things you're sharing with me does sound like that's what you're experiencing. He goes, however, he goes, it's hard because I don't know technically if it's like a condition or if it's like a certain personality type that just doesn't quite fit in with the way the world is today. With the stuff, how we have to be this and all these expectations and everything is so fast. And, it's hustle, 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 do the next best thing, be the most perfect mom, be the most, he goes, so I don't really know where I stand on
Yeah.
what it is. And so I don't know if you wanted to like touch on the medication aspect because that's different for everybody too. So initially I did start on medication and then I didn't like how it made me
Yeah.
feel. And that was just personal. That was my personal experience. I do take medication for anxiety and depression.
How
That has helped me
what did it
immensely.
make you feel?
The ADHD,
I guess, yeah.
don't know. I feel like I like being my self,
I mean, it's
And
part of who you are. Of course you
Yeah, it is. It's part of who I am. And so if I'm able to like still be her, but be her and equip myself with these tools and things, that felt better to me. I didn't, there's different kinds of ADHD medication. Now we know that a lot of it was like friggin' Ritalin, like meth basically. And so I was on one that, yeah, it took away my appetite. I was, go, go, go. It was working. It was doing what it was supposed to do. But just personally, my experience with that, I didn't like feeling it's like, oh, it's correcting how my brain is supposed to be. But do I dislike that? Not necessarily. I've learned to love her, but just felt like this was a better journey for me. So
where were you in your motherhood when you got on your first when you had this conversation with the
yeah, when I started ADHD medication,
Mhm.
I'm trying to think. I think
Even
Bo was
when you
more of a toddler. Wait, what?
even when you had the phone call, how old where were you in that?
I think Bo, she hadn't been 1 yet, actually.
Okay.
She was about to turn 1 when I'd had that conversation, and then started going to therapy. Um 'Cause at that time, I was also struggling with, like, depression and anxiety and stuff and, all of these things, and so again, all of those can, like, feed into each other. So yeah. So that's when I even started, like, asking questions about it and figuring out, like, "Holy crap, like, I've been struggling with this forever," and it's just, like, extremely heightened now because of all these things, and so it was just another reason I was, like, struggling so much postpartum.
Came, to the
Um
forefront when you became a mother.
And then I wasn't really, it was like I was going to therapy for a while. I've been off and on therapy for years, the last, decade or so. And I would say it wasn't even until I started going again like a year ago that I was like, "Well, if I keep doing the same thing, I'm going to keep getting the same results. Let's like get a handle on this." So
So you were taking the initial medication for how long were you taking that before you got to a different
I think like 6 months, maybe 6 months to a year. I'm trying to think. It was a long time ago.
I don't say no, your body's just getting used to it or anything like that?
Yeah. Well, and then that's the thing is like your body gets used to it and then they up the dose. And so it's also like you just have to be careful what doctor you're going to, who you're seeing because, everybody's got different opinions, different beliefs, different backgrounds, influencing everything. And so yeah, I know. It was a journey.
So you switched your medications after 6 months on the first one. How long were you on that? And did you get off of it for a time period?
Yeah, so
Do you feel like you got well enough to where you could ease off of it and then you needed to start it again? What was that like?
like anxiety, depression
And they
medication. Yep, I did. I was on that until Bo was about 3, and then we moved to California, and I'm trying to think of what it was, and I can't think of what it was, but hindsight 2020, it's like you think like again, this is a whole 'nother, like, mental health conversation. You think you're like, "Oh, I'm good, like, I'm better, I'm healed," so you
take it.
you stop taking your medication and then let's see, I think Bo maybe for a year and a half, 2 years, I wasn't taking anything, and then I started having panic attacks, and I was like,
And then you started having panic attacks.
yeah. So then, it's like you tried everybody with like, mental health, not everybody, but like mental health issues. It's like they always tell you, they're like, yeah, if you're feeling good, it's 'cause it's working. Like, don't be like, "Oh, I'm healed, like, I'm better, I can go off," because then you're like, "Oh, no." Yeah, so but anyway, yeah, I do take medication for anxiety and depression now, feel amazing, it's doing its thing, it's working, and then I'm, going to therapy and really dealing with, like, the tools and stuff for ADHD to, like, stay focused and just maintenance, therapy's good.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody has a reason to go to therapy. You don't have to go through something traumatic necessarily to
Mm-mm.
go to therapy. We've preached that
Dude,
podcast with that.
life is traumatic.
In general. Yeah. Just be like, what's
It's also just relative, like, your trauma is very much relative to each person, like, Go.
Yeah,
Go to therapy.
it is. Well, the next one is similar or kind of just piggybacks exactly what you were saying with your boss was brains ADHD brains
You got it.
struggle with internal motivation but respond really well to external clues. You subconsciously stay on track. It mimics a deadline without stress. So basically, like what you were saying
Mm,
was like,
yeah.
your people around your circle know what you're struggling with, and your boss being like, no, just put your phone down. I just keeps you
Yeah.
stay on track. So
Yeah. Well, and I'll say with my job, I'm so blessed. I'm so lucky to have found a job that's just like perfect for me because I'm a marketer. I'm a community relations and outreach manager for a company that owns a bunch of funeral homes. And so I'm like boots on the ground marketing. I go to events, I talk to people, I meet with people, I take people to lunch, put together gifts and like raffle
like
baskets and help
go to
organize.
like you go to a lot of nursing homes or
Mhm.
like what's
Yep.
it called like long term care.
Yep. I deal with a lot of like elderly people, and like volunteer do a lot of volunteer work, which I love. So my job is very fulfilling, but also my boss is very like, he's very cut and dry. He's like, as long as you're, like, hey, I need this put together for our place up in Prescott by next week. If you can get with Diane, just bring me like a full business plan, a full plan by next week. Awesome. And then he leaves me alone. And he's like, he lets me do my thing. I'm very independent. I like live in my car for work because I'm going and doing and seeing and at different locations. But yeah, it is. It's like the expectation of I want to do a really good job. I want to bring him something like awesome, creative. I want to get this done, but nobody's like breathing down my neck. So it's not like
Yeah,
stressful.
it's not like micro
Um,
you in any way.
yeah, exactly. So I will say like my job is perfect for me because I'm never bored. It's different every single day. I get to socialize.
And that's probably people who have ADHD to like not have a boring job.
I'm constantly on the move. I'm driving places. I'm talking to people. I've always got new tasks to work on. There's always like some new thing, So yeah, I highly recommend that as well because my mom manages a furniture store and one of her employees was like, you should come like work with us. And her and I are both like, no, she'd be so bored.
Yeah.
I'd be so bored.
Same.
But yeah, I just can't like stay in one place, like I'm just get bored.
Yeah,
So
but you're getting your job done, so it still works. So number 4 is it increases dopamine. Body doubling helps because social presence equals a small dopamine boost. Feels more interesting than doing something alone. It makes boring tasks
mhm.
slightly more rewarding. We kind of talked about number 5 earlier too. Number 5, it reduces overwhelm and paralysis. When everything feels too much, ADHD can lead to shutdown. Body doubling breaks the isolation, makes tasks feel shared, even if they're not, and lowers emotional resistance. It says why this works so well for moms. In real life, especially with little kids, you're constantly interrupted and overstimulated. Body doubling can keep you grounded when your brain feels scattered, helps you follow through on tasks you intend to do, and gives structure without needing a rigid schedule.
Yeah.
Doesn't work all the time. Like you said, not everybody's available to just like hop on a call or hop off a FaceTime. Like, totally get that. Like, body doubling really only works for you when it can be done, I guess. Like, it's not a thing that most people can do 100% of the time,
Mm,
but if you find the time that it can be done, it can really assist you in your
right.
post mom struggles having ADHD. As far as like the world map of not just ADHD and just like also being a mother, like, obviously this podcast is centered around moms, and
Yeah.
this particular episode is about body doubling, which can be like ADHD adjacent to. So,
Yeah.
how do you feel like, well, your life has shifted? I guess like bringing it to the forefront and being a mother. Is there anything that like specifically your tools like you use in more of a mothering like or like just like in life in general versus just girl?
Yeah. So with my daughter, I will say it gets, it gets easier the older they get because, she's now learned me
Yeah.
and learned the way that I function. And, um, when I'm struggling to stay on task or, but it also, man, it does make it more like, I want to say more relaxed and fun. But I think realizing like the struggles that I do have, being very vulnerable and open with my daughter about it too. We have conversations about it all the time. It opens up that relationship, I think. It's like relationship building as well, where it's like she'll be like, "Don't forget this and this and this, at this time, like, did you?" I'm like, I've got it in my phone. I've got my alarm set, things like that. So I would say even just like communicating. It's been a long time since I've been a mom of like young
Yeah.
little babies though. So like that's kind of where I'm at with it right now. Just where, the communication between her and I is so good and so open that even that in and of itself helps. And if I ask her like, "Hey, it would really, really help me out if you would unload the dishwasher." And like the aspect of like having your kids around helping you do tasks or things or giving them a task to do. Last night we were making ramen bowls and she wants to, chop stuff. Like she's in a place where I can, like guide her a little bit and help her. It kind of like makes things fun. I think for me, like making things a fun activity helps me get things done as well.
Right. Yeah.
Like if I mean, this I was gonna say this is probably not healthy, but it's like, okay, later I can have a glass of wine while I put away the laundry.
Yeah.
And so I can like make it like an event. Yeah, exactly. Like you can have a glass of wine while you put away the laundry. Things like that, making things fun.
Yeah. That's our mom version of fun.
Yeah, exactly. Just being able to have a glass of wine because alcohol is not helpful
Yeah. And I'm sure
with
medication.
focus and with taking medication. It's not helpful. And I've dealt with that as well of like, okay, like we need to really figure this out because this is not serving you in any way.
Right.
By like
Drink.
drinking, it makes you more foggy, it makes you tired, it makes you less focused, less motivated. So, also, pro tip if you struggle with ADHD, alcohol does not help in the long run. It might, I might in the immediate sense.
Longevity of it is probably not the best medication.
No, it's not. Not for ADHD, depression, anxiety. Never thought I'd be like on a podcast
You're like preaching.
sharing that.
Yeah.
Preaching, don't drink, just don't do it. Uh, in moderation, yeah, I'll reward myself and like, okay, I'll watch so I've been watching Secret Lives of Mormon Housewives from the beginning. I've never watched it until this whole scandal came out.
So have you seen it all now?
I'm on season 3, but yeah, it's like, I know, I want to like talk about that too with you.
It's just, yeah, thoughts there. But yeah, that's a reward.
Yeah, but it's like, yeah, like, because I have a TV in my room, so it's like I can turn on an episode of that, or a glass of wine, and put away my laundry, clean my room, So it's like make it like an enjoyable thing for myself.
So I wonder, you just said that it took my brain all the way to something. And I was like, I wonder how, because I'm a binge watcher. Like I will love to binge a whole season in a night. And I struggle with turning it off. Like I gotta know.
Mm,
But I feel like that is such counterintuitive to ADHD. It's like not attention deficit, but in a way it kind of is because it's like, I got to get to the end. I got to get to the end.
yeah, there is a hyperfixation part of ADHD where, like, if I get a 1,000-piece puzzle in front of me, I'll stay up 24 hours. I'm not even kidding. I will hyperfixate on something.
Yes, I think
So there,
I struggle with the hyperfixation on things. Like I'm
yeah.
trying to find these freaking gold chocolate coins for 2 days. I've been to 5 stores. I'm hyper fixated on these chocolate coins. Today I finally threw in the towel. But
Yeah. I can hyperfixate on weird things. Yeah. Like there's like my Ethan is my boyfriend. He has this like fluffy carpet in his fluffy rug in his room, and he has goat heads. Like those sticker things that you step on outside that get stuck in your shoes, and they're super sharp. They're like little brown. I know. I don't they're all out here in the desert. But they get stuck to your clothes or your pet
yeah,
or whatever.
yeah. Okay.
And so he's got them all in this rug in his room. And so one night we're like trying to play a game, and I'm like, I can't do anything until I get all these goat heads out of this rug. Just like picking and getting them out. And he's like, "Hey, leave them alone, please." It's like
Did you just
just
let it?
let it go.
Oh my god.
Yeah. But again, it's like having like somebody else there
Yeah.
helpful. But yeah, so I'll say I've had to prioritize my sleep. That's another thing that is a huge, huge, huge tool that is naturally in our tool belt that we need to prioritize more. And people are like, "Oh, you'll sleep when you're dead. You get 5 a.m. club. I don't go to bed until 2 and I get up at 5." It's like, no, you're not winning any trophies. Get as much sleep as you need because that's when you're going to be the most productive. I'll even on a Sunday take a nap because I am my best version, my most focused, my most energetic when I have had my sleep. I go to bed right now at like 8:30.
That's amazing.
Like
I would yeah, I want to be there.
life changing, life changing. And so I enjoy getting up in the morning now, whereas before it was like, and it just sucks, man. It sucks starting the day like that. And so that's something that I've really had to prioritize and make a habit of as well is the sleep, the going to bed early. But I know that's hard for you when you have small kids. It's like that's the only alone time that you get is late at night, probably after they're in bed.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, but it's just
Yeah.
it's one of those things where it's like I'm trying to like convince myself to flip-flop it. Like instead of staying up for those 3 extra hours or whatever, why don't I just go to bed now and then move it to the morning?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I know
Yeah.
it stinks. But this too shall pass, maybe.
It will. No, it will. Like, this is not forever.
Yeah.
You're in a really hard season. Like, you just are. You're in like the hardest season right now.
And if you're listening, you have small children or older children, it's just a struggle. Like you have permission to give yourself grace, basically.
Yeah. Please, please do because man,
I'll just do
we deserve it.
yes. Well, and I think we're gonna hit the nail on the head with some of these last ones here. What ADHD can look like in women slash moms. So mental overload, even when you're doing fine, we're all doing fine. So the constant feeling of having too much in your head, you know it needs to be done, but can't organize it. The brain feels loud or busy all the time.
Million tabs open.
A million tabs open, struggling to start simple tasks, like putting off things like dishes, laundry, email, even small tasks feel weirdly heavy. You might scroll on your phone instead, not because you want to. This is called executive dysfunction, core part of ADHD. So there's that.
Mm-hmm.
Starting
Yeah.
things and finishing few. I feel like that is me. You get bursts of motivation, absolutely. One other tip I have is do not start drinking energy drinks at like 2 or 3 p.m. because
No.
I do that and then I can't sleep. So, hello, that's me. I have
One.
coffee, and if my coffee's not working, my coffee's not kicking in by like 1, I'm like, okay, I'm going to open this energy drink. Yeah.
We'll do like a green tea.
I do. Only drink the Blooms or the Georgies. I don't drink other energy drinks, and those are the only 2 that I drink. And I don't
Yeah.
crash. I feel great on them, but I still am up. So
I love a Celsius in the morning.
the Celsius or the Lonnie's anymore.
Do as I say, not as I do. I have started switching them out for yerba mates because those are like way healthier and way better for you.
Yeah.
Apparently, Celsius, like the rate, like it can like jack up your cortisol levels basically. And so that's what I'm trying to not.
Yes.
through. I'm on a full journey.
If you've not tried the Bloom, they're so good.
Really? Okay. Yeah, I'll try 'em.
They're very good. Look them up. I will only drink those or the Georgie.
Mhm.
I can't find any of those
Yeah, but I'm
drinking it. Like, I'm just
yeah. Yeah, but I'm just not like a coffee girl, so
yeah, oh,
sorry, I'm like
love a coffee, but sometimes I don't feel like drinking coffees. Like, I've had aversions to coffees, like, in the past.
it just doesn't make me feel good.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know, it's weird. I feel weird, when I drink coffee.
Is like on so starting a million things, finishing few, easily overstimulated and irritable. You feel snappy or edge quickly, especially common with little kids. Luckily, I don't necessarily struggle with this as much. I have a husband who struggles with overstimulation and irritability.
I do.
Yeah, I think patience runs in my family really deep, which is great. It's just one of those things that you have to learn. And with little kids, you have a lot of patience. It's just
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so out of the two of us, I do have more patience, but it's something you work through, and he is trying really hard to get through the patience, but it's hard. Overstimulation is so real. Time blindness. Oh, I have time blindness. Oh my gosh.
They're like, "No, it's only noon."
Yeah, constantly underestimating how long things take, running late even when trying not to. I never purposely try to run late, but I am always late. Losing chunks of time, scrolling, cleaning one thing for too long, rejection sensibility. This one surprises people. Taking feedback really personally, overthinking conversations, feeling like you're failing more than you are. I don't necessarily have that, but I do have what's it called when you don't feel like you're like an imposter syndrome. So I don't know if that's part of ADHD.
Mm,
But I feel like rejection sensitivity, imposter syndrome can sometimes feel like back to back.
yeah.
Yeah. So those are common symptoms or what situations that women who are moms or women in general have when they have ADHD. In case you're like, I don't know, this is like simple way to
Mhm.
check you guys. So, but yeah, so that's really all I have. The best thing we can say is like listen to some of the tips that Grace has graciously provided through going to years of therapy. And
Yeah.
that's solid
Straight from my therapist.
and do from your mouth to
Yeah. But again, it's like, please, please, please take what I say and know that it's not applied to everyone. I'm not a therapist. I'm just sharing personal
yeah, just
experience.
sharing what your therapist has shared with you,
Yeah.
but just know that you're not alone. You're not alone. There's so many of us that didn't, and I will be testament number one. Like I said, I do not believe that I had ADHD before I had kids, and I know there's
Yeah.
controversy on that, but I think after I had the kids, either it was really, really suppressed before and like
Mm.
come up to the forefront to the surface now, or it's been developed for me because it's hard for me because I am a type 3 Enneagram. I am an achiever. I want to do all the things and get everything done. I want to get it timely and I wanted to be so productive and I can't and it's frustrating. And I hyperfixate on things. I like all the things we've talked about.
Yeah. Yeah.
You are not alone. We're with you in this and reach out for help.
It's like if you're here even just talking about it, that's such a good step. Self-awareness is like the number one. That's where you start, And so even that in and of itself is really exciting. It's an exciting journey to be on. It's not easy, but it's cool because you're beginning something that like, okay, like I don't have to be like this forever. I don't have to feel like this forever.
It's not
So,
me, it's just my brain, you know?
mhm. Yep.
It's not
Yep.
me, it's just
It's not me. It's my brain saying that.
also, again, try body doubling. Who would have thought? Thanks for listening. Thanks for joining us. Grace, thanks for being here.
Yay. Thanks for having me.
I think you were a perfect guest for this episode here, and I'm so happy to have you guys. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.